Guys, something I've come to realize. Many times we do reap what we sow. Perhaps we don't reap it the day after, the week after, even the month after. But you do reap what you sow. And that applies to the physical endeavor in life as well. If you're not sowing in terms of sweat equity, in terms of actually putting in the work to sculpt the body, to build a strong, resilient, elite physique, then you won't reap anything. And then you have the audacity to tell other people that are on their journey of physical empowerment and development that what they're doing is vanity, that it's vain. Gives me some Pharisee vibes, if you ask me, for many reasons. But that's a video for another time. You have to pursue physical excellence because that's the original prototype. That's the original intention. It wasn't a fat, obese society with trophy awards for everybody. No. And the same applies to the physical. So a lot of you fat people, a lot of you skinny people, a lot of you lazy people that have the audacity to tell people that everything that has to do with the physical endeavor is vain, is very judgmental. Seems like you are focused too much on other people. But that's perhaps because you don't have anything to be vain about, right? You yourself, somebody looks at your physique, right? Nobody's lusting for that. Not that I'm saying lust is a good thing. In fact, I think lust is something very, very dangerous. But just because you have a pristine physique, just because you have an elite physique, doesn't mean you're vain. In fact, I feel like the people that have some of the most elite physiques, right, carry grace to them. Perhaps are humble about it. In fact, I think that's probably one of the most epic things you can have is an aesthetic physique, but your worth, your value, right, doesn't come from people's praise. Oh, he has a great physique. Because you have both sides of the spectrum. You have the lovers, the aficionados. I think that's not good. And then you have the other people, they're the haters, casting stones. I don't think that's good either. One is glorifying, exalting an individual. The other is what? Comes from the root of jealousy. Jealousy is a very, very, very dangerous passion. Be careful of it. Be careful you don't fall prey to it. Perhaps you're throwing a lot of, not physical stones, but you're casting stones. No, I just thought I would bring that up because I see a lot of people that ask me, Mr. Belmar, I don't think I can start working out, this and that, because it's vain. Is that an excuse? Perhaps that's an excuse for the sin of laziness. Laziness is a lot worse than vanity. Because at least vanity had to work for it to fall into that trap. The other one, you're just the status quo. 90% of people are lazy. And what carries on in terms of the physical can also transcend and carry on in different sectors of life. If you're disciplined with your physical body, with your first temple, I'm more confident doing business with somebody that's taking care of themselves, right? Because I've been on the other side of the spectrum. I've been overweight, out of shape, depressed, suicidal. And looking back, seeing myself in that state, if I was a different individual and I realized those signs, I wouldn't want to be doing business with that person. I wouldn't really want to be associating myself with that person as much as possible, unless they're willing to change and I'm willing to help them out. If not, you're just hanging out with the wrong crowd. Hey guys, if you like this video, I have a lot more information, many data sets inside my private community, the dojo. Click the link below, find out more information. I'll see you inside. And there is some truth to being around individuals, and as the proverb goes, that good character can be brought down by bad company and bad morals. That being said, we have to abstain from all sides of the spectrum, being judgmental, throwing out vanity, and you hiding behind a pious, self-righteous, Pharisee-like behavior because you're lazy, because you have other more spiritual things to do. My friend, there's a deep correlation between the physical and the spiritual, right? And let me tell you, you're old and frail, and you break your tailbone, you break your hip, you break your leg. I would love to see somebody who's been disciplined, who's built the body to be able to endure such falls. Training hypertrophy, right? Developing that muscle density, training flexibility, training a lot of things that are going to be beneficial in their old age. So this transcends vanity. But if you don't have a strong why, if then you have an aesthetic physique, you're also going to have to worry with having a shredded physique, with people admiring you, breaking necks, right? But it's not about that. It's not about the admiration, and it's not about the hate, because you're going to get both sides of the spectrum. You're going to get people that are jealous, people that are insecure, right? And it's going to reflect in their interactions with you. In fact, sometimes you'll even catch it beforehand. I was in Miami, I was walking, and I saw an individual, and I'm like, this guy's going to do something, he's going to say something. You could just feel the essence coming out of the individual. So he came up to me, looked at me, flicked me off, right? And was just staring me in the eyes. And I just said, touche. And I kept walking, and I just thought it was hilarious. And then I turned the corner, and I had the other side of the spectrum. Mr. Belmar, you're great. I'm your biggest fan, this and that. Let me take a photo, blah, blah, blah. So think about if I let the emotions control the situation. I get super angry with one side of the spectrum, and then I become super, I guess either vain or full of pride, right? Because you're deriving your sense of self-worth from people's perspectives, from people's ideologies, from people's emotions, right? It's all the external. You're not reflecting on the internal. So those are things I kind of keep an eye out for. And now that we have social media, this technocratic form of magic, and we are all hyper connected, it's easier now more than ever to see how things play out in this twilight. Peace and grace. And remember that building an elite physique is not vain.